The story of the Trojan Horse is one of the most famous tales from Greek mythology. It is part of the larger narrative of the Trojan War, a legendary conflict between the Greeks, also called Achaeans, and the city of Troy. At the center of this story is Helen of Troy, often referred to as the most beautiful woman in the world. Her role in the events leading up to the Trojan Horse highlights the themes of love, betrayal, and the power of cunning strategy. The Trojan War began when Helen, the wife of King Menelaus of Sparta, was taken to Troy by Paris, a prince of the city. There are different versions of how this happened. Some say Helen fell in love with Paris and went willingly. Others claim she was abducted. Either way, her departure sparked outrage in Greece, as she was considered a symbol of pride and honor. Menelaus called upon other Greek kings and warriors to help him retrieve Helen, and together they formed a massive army to lay siege to Troy. The Greeks sailed across the Aegean Sea and surrounded Troy, a city protected by mighty walls that seemed impenetrable. For 10 years, the Greeks and Trojans fought a brutal war. Despite numerous battles, neither side could claim victory. Helen's presence in Troy served as a constant reminder of what the Greeks were fighting for, making her a central figure in the conflict. After a decade of stalemate, the Greeks devised a cunning strategy to end the war. The idea came from Odysseus, one of the wisest and most resourceful Greek leaders. He proposed building a large wooden horse and presenting it to the Trojans as a gift. The Greeks pretended to abandon the war and sail away, leaving the horse behind as an offering to the gods. Unbeknownst to the Trojans, the wooden horse was hollow and filled with Greek soldiers. The plan was a gamble, relying on the Trojans' curiosity and pride. When the Greeks left, the Trojans discovered the horse and debated what to do with it. Some, like the priest Laocoon, warned that it might be a trap. According to legend, Laocoon even said, "Beware of Greeks bearing gifts." However, his warning was ignored. In some versions of the story, the gods punished Laocoon for trying to stop the Trojans, sending serpents to kill him and his sons. This convinced the Trojans that bringing the horse into their city was the right choice. The Trojans celebrated what they believed was their victory. They pulled the horse inside the city walls and held a grand feast. As night fell and the Trojans slept, the Greek soldiers hidden inside the horse emerged. They opened the city gates, letting in the rest of the Greek army, which had secretly returned under the cover of darkness. The Greeks attacked the unsuspecting Trojans, setting the city on fire and defeating their enemies. Troy fell, marking the end of the war. Helen's role in the Trojan Horse event and the larger war is pivotal. She is often portrayed as both a victim and a cause of the conflict. Her beauty and the desire it inspired in others became a symbol of the power of love and attraction, but also of the destruction they could bring. Throughout the war, Helen's presence in Troy was a source of tension. Some Trojans blamed her for the suffering the war caused, while others sympathized with her situation. According to some versions of the story, Helen played a part in the Trojan Horse scheme. The poet Homer, in his epic poem The Odyssey, describes how Helen, suspecting a trick, tried to lure the Greek soldiers out of the horse by imitating the voices of their wives. However, Odysseus had instructed the soldiers to remain silent no matter what they heard, and the plan succeeded. This episode shows how Helen's intelligence and awareness could influence events, even if her actions were not always aligned with one side. In the aftermath of the war, Helen's fate varied depending on the version of the myth. In most stories, she was reunited with Menelaus and returned to Sparta. Despite everything that had happened, Menelaus chose to forgive her, a decision that highlights the complexity of their relationship and the enduring power of love and loyalty. The story of the Trojan Horse is significant for several reasons. First, it demonstrates the value of strategy and intelligence in overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The Greeks were unable to breach Troy's walls through brute force, but Odysseus's clever plan allowed them to achieve victory. This lesson, that brains can triumph over brawn, has made the Trojan horse a symbol of cunning and resourcefulness. Second, the story underscores the dangers of pride and arrogance. The Trojans' decision to bring the horse into their city was driven by a combination of curiosity, overconfidence, and the desire to celebrate their perceived triumph. Their failure to heed warnings and question the gift's true purpose led to their downfall. The phrase Trojan Horse has since become a metaphor for hidden threats, reminding us to be cautious and skeptical of things that seem too good to be true. Finally, the Trojan Horse event is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling. It is a tale that has been passed down for thousands of years, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and even modern language. For example, in the world of technology, a Trojan horse is a type of malicious software that disguises itself as something harmless, echoing the original myth. The story of the Trojan horse is more than just an exciting tale of war and deception. It is a narrative rich with lessons about human nature, the consequences of choices, and the power of strategy. Helen of Troy's role in the events highlights the complexities of love, loyalty, and the influence of individuals on history. Through her, we see how personal decisions can have far-reaching consequences, shaping the course of events in ways both dramatic and profound. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale or a celebration of ingenuity, the Trojan Horse continues to capture the imagination of audiences around the world. It reminds us that even in the face of great challenges, creativity and perseverance can lead to victory, but only if we remain vigilant and wise in our decisions.